My husband was offered a position with a large hotel group. We're both chefs by trade, and he was trying to transition out of the kitchen and more into a managerial role. So he was offered a food and beverage position with a very reputable company in PNG. I took a position as the group training manager, which the plan was to teach the locals about health and safety, implement health and safety. I was to work with the local chefs, teaching them how to do food cost, how to write menus correctly, how to take pictures of their menus, how to do promotions, how to market themselves. Just really a big support network for the senior chefs within the group. There's so many experiences that or I could speak to, but probably the main thing is love of family. When you move across the country to a different demographic, a different culture, you've only really got the people that you move with to rely on. And in PNG especially, they have a Wontok system, which means family is everything to them. They have maybe 15 to 100 people that are at any one time part of their family, and they have nothing by Western standards, and yet they're grateful and they're happy, and everything is about interacting with family, loving family, supporting family. So as a Western family going there, it really makes you appreciate family and love, really, love. Of course, you're apprehensive. It's a big move to move across the world and pick up your family, leave your pets, your extended family, rent your house out. But I was excited. I was open to new opportunities. And overall, I was positive. We were starting on a new adventure as a family, and I was ready for it to start. As a mother, your primary concern is, of course, your children. So, to be honest, I was more concerned how our 7-year-old daughter would go in the transition. She was very upset to leave her school and her friends. But kids are amazing. They bounce. Within a couple of days of being at school, she had 17 friends. There's plenty of activities that they can do. You become a little bit of a helicopter parent for the first, probably I was 6 months, but you then learn the lay of the land, you learn the expectations, you learn what is safe and what is not safe, and you live to the setting that you live in. It's the same any country you go into. You need to understand the do's and don'ts before you feel comfortable, and I was exactly like that with my daughter. Our education experience in Port Moresby was amazing. My daughter attended TEMIS, which is the Elementary International School. It's phenomenal. Initially, the welcome you get is huge. It's got a combination of probably 50% local kids, and the other 50% is children and parents, of course, from all over the world. The social network is amazing. The friendships your children make are amazing. The cultural days that the school holds in recognition for the fact that we are people that from all over the world will bring a tear to your eye. It is hugely patriotic, and it is actually a very humbling experience. We brought our daughter back to Australia grade 6. I chose not to do boarding school, and I wanted her to have a year to transition back into the Australian curriculum. I also thought perhaps she may be a little behind, I may need tutoring, and that was not the case at all. The education she received was outstanding. I think it's the same as any other country. You need to be aware of your surroundings and the fact that you aren't in your home country. You just need to pay attention. It is an unsafe country. There's no disputing that, but it is not a country that you can't walk out your front door. If you want to go for a walk on Ella Beach, you can. You just need to do it in daylight hours. If you choose to drive to the shops, you're more than safe to do that. You just would take a certain route. There is areas that you would not go into. Community-wise, huge expat community, so there is plenty of opportunity to make friends, join clubs, help out at charities. Living in Papua New Guinea is quite varied. Generally, as an expat, you will live in a compound. They're all very safe, they're all very modern, they're all very nice. They're all fully air conditioned, which is very important in Papua New Guinea. It is quite warm. And it's a community. You're living within a community. There's just a big fence around you and guards at that entrance to make sure that people that shouldn't come in don't. It's very diverse. I was lucky enough to travel a lot in my job. I went to Lae, Hagen, Goroka, Port Moresby, lots of places in between. They're all different. They're all beautiful in their own way. Port Moresby is not pretty. There's no other way to say that. There is a lot of rubbish. There is a lot of burnt out cars. There is a lot of buildings that are incomplete. But it is like any capital city in anywhere in the world. You cannot base your first opinion on a country by the capital city. Lae has unbelievable local produce. And then when you're in Hagen, there happened to be a cultural celebration on. So off I go. I came home with a huge mud mask. Travelling is normal. You get on a domestic flight. And then at the other end, you are picked up by a secure vehicle. And there is no safety concerns at all. The cultural days are amazing. The friendliness and how you are accepted into their country by locals and expats really does blow your mind. They want to learn, they want to be, they want to get better, they want to know that they can compete on the world stage. So it was a hugely humbling experience to have someone so grateful for me to teach them something that we take for granted. Yeah, I can't really speak to it anymore. They're grateful. Integrating into PNG is very easy. Whilst there's over 100 local languages, everybody speaks English. All expats also speak English. Everyone is very friendly, very open to having a conversation, and very happy to teach you, some of the key words from their language. Living in or moving to Papua New Guinea, you either decide that you are going to be the person that works or the person that doesn't. Generally, is a large network of women that do not work, and after sort of a year or two, they may decide to move into the workforce. But initially, you go there, it is your husband or partner that is working. There is lots of things to keep you busy. I personally joined the parent group at school, plenty of charities. Community-wise, there's plenty to do. It's not a place where you can just walk out your door and go to the botanical gardens and have a wander around. So most things are done in groups of people. Shopping. Shopping is difficult. So if we'll talk grocery first, it's expensive. There are local shops you can shop in. I recommend you shop in these. And what you get one week, you may not get the next. Food can be hit and miss, but everything is available. It's just, it's all coming via the sea, so sometimes it takes longer than you expect. If you're talking fruit and vegetables, you can go to the local markets. I don't recommend you do this yourself, but most households will have a house Mary that will come in and, help with your daily tasks within your house or childcare. That person is more than happy to head to the markets and for 1/10 of what you will have to buy in a Western supermarket, come home with beautiful, fresh, local fruit and vegetables. I think you need to be open-minded. For anyone thinking about moving anywhere in the world, you need to go in with the mindset that I'm going to embrace this, I'm going to take it for what it is, I'm not going to try and change the experience. And it is, it's a third world country. The PNG people do, they do their best, but they don't have the skills that you or I take for granted, or the education that you or I take for granted. And you just need to be open-minded. That's all I can say. Embrace every opportunity that you get offered. Okay, this one is really important. If you are thinking of moving to PNG, then don't just listen to mainstream media. Find someone that has actually previously lived there, experienced it firsthand, not a friend of a friend or so-and-so told me this. Someone who has actually lived in the country, worked in the country, schooled in the country, and sit down and speak to them. There's so many people that have, and I am more than willing, I'm the type of person that will be honest. I'll say to you, no, you can't drive in this area. No, you can't drive after 7 p.m. But I will also say, it was amazing. My daughter, who, was 7 at the time, would play with kids in the dirt for 3 hours with sticks. It teaches you a completely different way of living. And I think overall, it's an amazingly positive experience to get out of your comfort zone and experience a different way of living.